So I went back and I went back to one of my other techniques that I tried before yesterday, squaring the circle, and I actually decided to film this outdoors today because where I am right now I don't have the best lighting, so I thought I'd come outside and try and film this outside. So hopefully this works out. Okay, so first of all, this is the compass that I got secondhand. Precision Instruments from Bavaria, Germany, and I think it's a vintage. I'm not exactly sure how old, and I'm not even sure if the company is still around. But this sure I'm going to be able to do this here with one hand. Let's try that. Let's try 1 second here. Okay, there it is. Like I was saying before, it's a really good one. And the model just happens to be 11B, which I thought was interesting. So it kind of has a significance to pi, and upon actually you could just see the beautiful engineering. Bavarian engineering. Absolutely exquisite quality. And yeah, so upon further investigation, like I said, this thing here, it's jammed. And I got looking at this afterwards, where I think that this was left too long in the wrong place, and it took on some water damage, moisture. You know, that might happen after it's been sitting for, you know, a couple of more decades long, and it just sat there in the wrong kind of place, and either it's water damage or, you know, the moisture got in there. But yeah, there's that 11B. It's pretty cool. I think that it might be the damage is from rust and just from sitting too long. So hopefully maybe that's the worst of it. And like I said, I need a machinist to fix that. I have tried it, a WD-40, and it's not budging. And I don't want to ruin it. You know, if it is damaged, I don't want to damage it any further. So going to leave that for the hands of an expert machinist who could possibly repair that for me in the future. And, oh yeah, and before I get to this, I want to show you that this is something else that I thought of before. And then if I took and made a square out of, you know, equal sides, in this case they're all like 5, 5, 5, and then you take this square and you shape it into a circle with something conical, right? And then you would get where the square and the equal, or sorry, the square and the circle have equal area, which is what squaring the circle is all about. So this was another kind of a very cheap and a very simple way of doing something like that. So anyways, I thought I'd throw that out there. That was a very kind of a primitive attempt. So this one, I did actually do this yesterday, which was August the 22nd, and I didn't film it yesterday because I was too tired. I thought I'd save this for the morning here. So essentially, I think like this is another method of doing it, and I did two. I did a 16 diameter circle, and I did a 22 diameter circle, just to see the consistency. And so how I did this one, this attempt at squaring the circle, as I drew a circle, and then I found the diagonal 4 points, and then I drew a square inside that would fit exactly inside that circle. And from one of the sides, I took a compass going to the corner of that square and scribed a line to the other corner. And then you go to the other point of the square, scribe another line, scribe another line, and that gives you this a measurement over here for one of the sides of the square, which is equal to the area of that circle. So like it's a very simple way of doing it. And you know, once again, I don't have the most precise measuring instruments, and it's pretty accurate. Like I got to 23.7678, etc. And this one was 23.7656. And once again, it was a bit of an approximation, you know, as best as I could estimate with my the measuring instrument that I have. It's just a basic ruler, something like 14th, 16ths, something like that. So you can see that that's really close, and perhaps this method is more accurate, given precise drawing and measuring instruments. And the 16, you know, using the same method, I got to 12.57.14, and I estimated it to 9 16ths, which actually was just like a hair over, you know, my measurements. I don't know what that exactly is in 32s or 64ths and stuff like that, but I got 12.6914, And so you can see the difference there is like 0.1. And this, I have a feeling that it is because I can't get the precise measurement, and it is just a hair over. So in fact, that might actually be even closer to that, or should be. So you can see that it's pretty accurate. And the other question is, I mean, how accurate do you actually even need this to be? I mean, do you actually need something precise to the 10th decimal? I mean, what, in practicality, where do you actually have a situation where you need to have a use for having the exact area of a circle to equal the exact area of a square? I mean, I can't really think of one, but maybe there is one out there. And of course, you know, modern technology and modern calculators and instruments can get that kind of precision for you. But once again, I wanted to see how, you know, they might have done this hundreds of years ago. And I think this one is actually the most kind of logical one to me, where it is just a very simple method and very effective, where, you know, it gives you accuracy to, you know, to very reasonable outcomes. And there was, oh yeah, and there was one other thing here too. You know, and while I was at it, I thought, I need to reposition myself here. Boy, focus is even worse outside here. While I was at it, I had a curiosity of what the angles would be from the corner of the circle to the top middle. And so that angle in there, I wanted to see, you know, I was just curious. I was like, well, I wonder what that angle is from there. Well, sorry, from the corner of the circle to the top middle of that square. I wanted to see what that angle was, and that angle was 66 degrees. Now, I don't know exactly how precise that is, but it was almost, you know, it was pretty bang on to kind of my kind of the protractor I had. So maybe that's an interesting relationship, where that's another way to kind of do this, where you just measure out, draw your circle, get a corner, and then measure out 66 degrees that way, and then go to the other corner, measure 66 degrees that way, and then you would get that point right there, and that would give you that side of the square. So I thought that was really interesting, and I double checked it. Like the exact same ratio worked for the smaller one as well, the 16. So there's some consistency here with that angle. And the other one was from the corner of the square to the top middle of the circle. I wanted to see what that angle was, and that angle was 65 degrees. Like, you know, according to my protractor, it was bang on. So, and same for the smaller one, from the corner of that smaller square to the top middle of that smaller circle, 65 degrees. So maybe this 66 degrees and the 65, depending on if you're measuring from the square or the circle to the opposite top, maybe that's even, you know, an easier method, but very interesting nonetheless. And another idea I had once, you know, I got looking at this was, I think that this would make a really cool a picture frame design. You know, one that's actually based on geometry and based on squaring the circle. Maybe you could draw or cut the circle and then inlay the square into the circle, or vice versa. You could draw the square and inlay the circle into that frame. And then of course the middle kind of area here would be where you put your picture or your piece of art. And so this might be kind of an original idea here for some woodworkers or some other kind of metal workers, or, you know, an artistic project where you could actually make a picture frame based on the squaring of the circle. That's what that idea there is. So I think that does it for this one. So if I find anything else, I will investigate and see if there's any other ways of squaring the circle. But I thought this one was really cool and worth sharing. And there's also a picture frame idea here. And that's it for now.